They stopped fearing the fall because they've already lived at the bottom. Pain didn't destroy them, it rewired them. What came back wasn't the same person. It was something colder, quieter, and far more dangerous. If you understand this silence, you belong here. Subscribe and step deeper into the mind. Fear dies when pain becomes familiar. It's not sudden, it's slow, quiet, and cruel. It begins the first time your world collapses and you realize you're still breathing. You thought it would end you, but it didn't. Something in you shatters, but something else watches. That's how it begins. The mind learning to survive its own destruction. At first, fear screams. It claws at you, whispering that the next blow will finish you, but it never does. You break, you heal, you break again. The cycle repeats until the mind stops reacting. It stops expecting safety. It stops begging for mercy. Pain becomes the background noise of existence, a constant hum that no longer startles you. You adapt to it, you wear it like skin. People who've suffered too much don't fear pain anymore because they know it intimately. They've memorized its rhythm, its timing, its aftertaste. They know exactly how long it takes for the wound to stop bleeding, for the ache to turn numb. It's no longer unknown, and fear only thrives in the unknown. Once pain becomes familiar, it loses its power to terrify. There's a strange transformation that happens here. What once felt unbearable becomes routine. What once tore you apart becomes part of your psychology. You start to predict the hurt before it arrives. You feel it coming, and you brace quietly, calmly. You don't flinch, you don't cry out. You've already felt worse. Fear requires imagination, and the broken lose that kind of imagination. They've already seen the worst possible version of reality. What else is there to imagine? That's why they appear cold, detached, indifferent. But it's not indifference, it's adaptation. It's the mind choosing logic over panic. It's survival in its purest, rawest form. They've learned that nothing external can truly destroy them because everything that could already did. Once you survive your own personal apocalypse, you stop trembling at thunder. You start seeing fear in others, how it controls them, how it makes them small. And you realize something quietly terrifying. The world runs on fear. People obey because of fear. They love because of fear. They stay silent because of fear. But when that fear dies in you, you no longer play by the same rules. You walk through chaos with calm eyes. You stop being controlled. Pain didn't just harden you, it freed you. The absence of fear doesn't mean the absence of danger. It means you've accepted danger as constant. You understand that pain is not an intruder, but a companion that's been walking beside you for years. You stop resisting it, you walk with it. And that's when fear dissolves completely. When you realize it can't take anything from you that you haven't already given up. This kind of calm looks unnatural to those who haven't lived through it. They see it as apathy, emptiness, even arrogance. But they don't understand what it costs to reach this point. How many nights you had to die inside just to stop shaking. How many times you had to face the same darkness until it stopped being frightening and started being familiar. You stop asking, why me? You start saying, try me. Because you know every scar is proof that you've survived something others couldn't even imagine. Pain becomes proof, fear becomes fiction, and what's left inside you is something that doesn't flinch anymore. You learn to smile in the face of what once destroyed you. You look at pain and say, I've met you before, then you keep walking. After too much pain, something changes deep inside, not loudly but permanently. The heart stops reacting the way it used to. The same things that once shattered you now barely touch the surface. It's not that you stopped healing, it's that you stopped letting feelings rule you. You no longer drown in emotion, you observe it. You watch it rise, twist, fade. You become the witness, not the victim. There's a strange kind of silence that lives in those who've been through too much. A silence that doesn't come from peace, but from exhaustion. You've felt so much that you've burned out the circuits. The mind steps in where the heart used to lead. It studies every word, every tone, every glance. You don't react, you analyze. It's not a choice anymore, it's self-defense. People mistake it for coldness. They say you've changed, you've become distant. But distance is safety. Emotion was once the open wound that everyone stepped on. You learn to close it. You learn that reacting gives people power, so you don't. You let the storm pass through you, but you don't move. You let people think they've affected you when inside you're simply watching. Pain has a way of converting sensitivity into strategy. You don't trust easily, you don't reveal easily, and you don't attach quickly. You've learned that most connections come with hidden costs, that love isn't always safe, that empathy, when placed in the wrong hands, is a weapon turned against you. So, the mind steps forward, calculating, watching patterns, reading between silences. The same heart that once begged to be understood now studies the ones who never will. The more pain you endure, the more you see the world differently. You begin to understand human behavior like a language. You can sense when someone's lying, when someone's masking, when someone's projecting. You don't need to ask, you already know. It's not intuition anymore, it's pattern recognition carved into you by experience. Pain trains perception. And once you've seen enough, you can't unsee. There's power in that detachment. You can sit in chaos and feel nothing but stillness. You can be surrounded by noise and hear only clarity. While others drown in emotional confusion, you stand at the edge, quietly observing how predictable it all is. You no longer crave to be understood because you've realized most people don't even understand themselves. But that comes with a cost. You miss feeling things deeply, the way you once did. You miss that innocent intensity that used to make every joy and sorrow feel alive. Now, everything feels muted, filtered. You love with awareness, you trust with hesitation, you hope with restraint. You've turned emotion into data. It's not that you don't feel, it's that you feel too intelligently now. And yet, deep down, there's a strange kind of beauty in this state. You've become composed, unreadable, calm in the face of storms. The chaos that once terrified you now fascinates you. You see it from a higher place, detached, measured, unbothered. The heart that once broke easily has turned into an instrument of understanding. Pain didn't destroy it, it upgraded it. Now, you no longer seek validation. You no longer chase comfort. You no longer fear being misunderstood. You've learned that peace isn't found in people, it's found in perception. You've stopped trying to control outcomes. You simply watch them unfold. You've become both participant and observer, feeling and thought, human and ghost. And in that stillness, you finally realize you don't need to be understood to be free. Trust changes after pain. It stops being natural. It stops being innocent. It becomes something you construct, piece by piece, with precision and restraint. Once you've been hurt enough times, you start seeing the truth behind smiles, the cracks behind kind words. You no longer hand over your trust freely. You measure it, you test it, you calculate it. Because experience has taught you that people often mean well until they don't. Pain sharpens perception. You begin to notice everything. The tone behind the apology, the delay before an answer, the way someone looks away when they lie. You stop hearing words and start reading intention. The heart that once rushed forward now stands still, waiting, watching, learning. You don't need to confront anymore, you just observe. You let people reveal themselves, because they always do. Once upon a time, trust was your instinct. You believed people simply because you wanted to. You thought kindness was its own protection. But reality taught you otherwise. It showed you how easily love can turn manipulative, how effortlessly promises can rot into excuses. Pain became your teacher, and through it, you learned that trust isn't about others, it's about boundaries. Now, every connection feels like a negotiation, every closeness a test. You no longer seek people who speak beautifully. You look for those whose silence feels safe. You value consistency more than intensity. You don't need grand gestures anymore, you need quiet truth. The old version of you wanted connection. The new version wants evidence. And that's what makes you hard to deceive. You can sense when someone's energy shifts, when their tone softens just to manipulate, when their attention starts to fade. You notice patterns because you've lived through them before. Your intuition is no longer emotional, it's logical. It's built from repetition, from observation, from surviving the same betrayal in different faces. You no longer ask, "Can I trust this person?" You ask, why do they want me to? And yet, there's a certain loneliness in this awareness. When you see through everyone, it becomes harder to let anyone in. You start living behind invisible glass, safe but distant. You stop expecting loyalty. You stop expecting depth. You understand that people often love for comfort, not commitment. They stay until it's inconvenient. Then they vanish. So you learn not to lean. You learn to stand alone. It's not bitterness, it's realism. You've accepted that humans are complex, that motives are layered, that love often hides self-interest. It doesn't make you cynical, it makes you awake. Pain didn't make you hate people, it just stopped you from worshipping them. This kind of awareness becomes power. You no longer beg for honesty, you read it in the details. You no longer chase connection, you let it prove itself. You're not cold, you're cautious. You've learned that trust is not something to be given, it's something to be earned slowly, carefully, painfully. And if someone breaks it, you don't rage anymore, you simply withdraw, quietly, permanently. You don't announce your boundaries, you enforce them with silence. You don't explain your distance, you let time reveal why it's necessary. The mind that has been betrayed doesn't hate, it calculates. It builds walls with precision and opens doors with discretion. It no longer believes in forever, only in patterns that repeat until you learn the lesson. And when you finally understand that, you stop chasing loyalty. You start becoming it. Peace feels strange after chaos, almost wrong. When you've lived too long in survival mode, calm feels like a threat. Silence feels like a setup. You've been trained by pain to expect disaster. So when the noise stops, you don't relax, you wait. You listen for the next hit. You brace for the familiar collapse that always comes after things start to feel good. Because the mind, after too much pain, doesn't trust peace. It studies it, it tests it, it doubts it. You've spent years fighting battles no one saw, nights convincing yourself to survive, days pretending you were fine when you weren't. You've carried storms inside for so long that they became your normal, and when they finally fade, when the world becomes quiet, it feels unnatural, like the absence of something that defined you. You don't know who you are without the pain. You don't know how to live without the edge. It's hard to explain this to people who haven't lived it. They think healing feels warm, but it doesn't. At first, it feels hollow, empty, like standing in a room where all the noise suddenly stops. You mistake the stillness for loneliness. You crave the chaos that hurt you because it's what your nervous system knows. Peace doesn't come easily to the damaged. It must be earned, slowly, carefully, reluctantly. But something changes over time. The same silence that once terrified you begins to comfort you. The same stillness that once made you restless starts to feel like safety. You begin to understand that peace was never the absence of danger. It was the presence of control. You've stopped needing the world to calm down. You've learned how to calm yourself. There's a quiet power in that. You stop chasing validation. You stop arguing to be understood. You stop letting noise dictate your state of mind. When people try to provoke you, you don't react. Not because you don't care, but because you refuse to return to the chaos you escaped from. You've seen what it does to you. You've seen how much energy it steals. So you choose silence over war, distance over drama, detachment over desperation. Peace after pain is not soft, it's steel. It's the kind of peace that's been built from ashes, carved from self-restraint, earned through breakdowns that no one noticed. It's not passive, it's disciplined. It's knowing exactly when to walk away, when to stop explaining, when to stop fighting battles that only drain you. You realize you don't need to prove your worth anymore. You just exist, quietly, confidently, untouchably. And people start to notice. They sense the change. They can't read you anymore. Your calm unnerves them because it's not the fragile kind. It's the kind that comes from someone who's been through too much to be easily moved. You've seen too much to be impressed, lost too much to be afraid. You no longer seek control over others. You have control over yourself. And that's where real freedom begins. Eventually, peace stops feeling like the absence of pain. It starts feeling like power. You start protecting it the way you once protected your wounds. You stop apologizing for your distance. You stop explaining your quiet. Because the truth is, peace is expensive. And you paid for it with everything you had. You don't fear the storm anymore, because now You are the calm, and in the end, they become what pain could never break. Not soft, not bitter, just quiet, measured, untouchable. They no longer seek light. They're it. Cold, controlled, eternal. The world still tries to shake them, but it can't, because once you've died inside and come back whole, nothing outside can ever touch you again.